Welcome to the greatest sports show in the world. Good week, everybody. Hey, missed you guys last week, but that's okay. I was busy. I was in Disneyland, doing cool shit in Disneyland, hot boy stuff. Because I think that's what they call it when you're in Disneyland. I was just doing hot boy shit, Disneyland. But we're back. This time we're back with Jess. Jess, what's going on?
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
It's going great. Just killing a guy. I'm swamped, but I'm making time. You got to make time for the peoples. Right. And so that's what I'm doing right now. And then we got Nicky Boston's back. Nick, what's going on, my man?
What's up, brother? How's it hanging? Glad to be back.
Hey, I'm glad you're back too.
Yeah, we missed you.
Yeah, we did. We
missed you guys too. I missed you guys too. Seriously, I was starting to have withdrawals and shit. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know what to do with myself.
Hey, listen. Hey, tell your cousin we're mad at her because she didn't come out in Boston to hang out with us.
True.
She didn't come get drunk. I mean, we got drunk.
We did.
I basically played bartender at the bar. I wiped down bars, listened to people's problems.
I haven't even heard. We haven't even talked since you guys went to Boston.
I know. That's why I'm telling.
Right. We've got to kind of communicate here. I mean, I Jess sent me picture, which is great, and I love you, Jess. Thanks for doing that. She sent me. She took a picture underneath the sign of my grandfather, hit the North End. I love that you guys did that, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I hope it was at least hospitable while you guys were there.
Oh, I love totally. Boston.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
The only, like I said, the only thing wrong with Boston is your cousin. Your cousin, she didn't come drink with us. Which is cool. She's a busy person. She's busy. Yeah. It was a long shot.
She's Bobby Big Wheel. You know what I mean? Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, I 100%. I get it. I'm cool. It doesn't mean my feelings aren't hurt. They're hurt.
No, I get it.
Gravely. We literally had people at the draft party saying, "Hey, she coming out?" And I said, "Hey, listen, I tweet her. That's all I can do. All right." And so we even made a tweet with the guy videoing, like, "Hey, sure, you're coming out with us." And
I'll have to talk to her and tell her and break her balls here real quick.
Yeah, she's in big demand. But before we get going too far, I just want to bring up this point so that everybody knows. This show is brought to you by HockeyWolf.com. Ow, 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 ow. HockeyWolf.com. Beer leaguers just like you and me trying to make the game more affordable because that's the worst part about hockey. It's just so goddamn expensive.
Every time we do that, my dog looks at me. I just wanted to.
Yeah, you got your own little miniature hockey wolf. But we work with these guys. They got great deals on gear. They got great deals on team swag. Great deals on just everything. They're just trying to lacrosse, travel, take care of you. Just give them a call or go visit the website and tell them, hey, listen, BLPA. I heard about you guys on the BLPA, and since we support those that support us, we're going to come support HockeyWolf. So HockeyWolf.com. Ow, 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 ow. So a lot of things have happened in the last 2 weeks. I mean, one, like I said, I've been busy as fuck. I was like I said, Disney doing hot boy shit. But we got our team tournaments coming up. We got the military decks this weekend. Going to Minnesota on Thursday. I'm actually leaving tomorrow. I'm going to Vancouver, driving from Vancouver to Bellingham. Have to do a Nexus appointment for my 6-year-old. Then we drive back. We fly back Wednesday, and then Thursday I'm on a flight to Minnesota. Then I'm going to go to Oklahoma and visit my folks for a couple days. Then we're in Philadelphia for the Bash, and then right after Philadelphia is Columbus Bash. Right after Columbus Bash, DC Bash. So all 3 in a row, and it's just it's getting wild. It's about to get hot and wild because then you go into May and you got Pittsburgh, you got Cleveland, and then we got Reykjavik, Iceland. So we got a lot of shit on the go here.
I've got to figure out when I can meet up with you guys. I'm traveling quite a bit over the next 2 months, so I've got to figure out if there's anything I could kind of coincide with meeting up with you.
Well, hey, listen, people were asking when Nicky Boston was going to come play in some of the Dexes, and I said, hey, listen. Yeah, you got it. He'll get here. He's a busy guy, mover and shaker. All right.
I'll get there this summer. I promise. This summer after June 27th, 28th, I will play in a tournament, guaranteed. Okay. You can put that. You can put that down. After June 27th, 28th. After I have my stuff with the Boston Junior Bruins, then I'll be rocking and rolling. And I'll guarantee I'll be there at a tourney. And I am waiting just to put my stick in someone's chicklets in one of those tournaments. I think Kyle Thornton. I got to do that.
I got
to do for Ficus Kev.
Me out. Thanks. Nick.
Yeah. You got to. Hey, well then just come to Jess's hometown tournament in Raleigh, July 21st.
True. Yeah.
You could come right up there.
That could be a good hit because don't think I'm an idiot here, but not that you are probably already don't. But when it comes to Raleigh, how far are you from the Outer Banks, Jess?
Like 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
I got a connection that's always telling me, you got to go, you got to stay at my house, you got to stay at my house, you got to stay at my house right there in the water. So I don't know, maybe we could work something out where, we could all stay there, have a good time. But I know it's a couple hours away, but we could maybe figure it out and have some fun.
That would be fun. Yeah, it depends on like where you go in the Outer Banks because, right, like there isn't just like a little bridge to every little.
No, I've been there. You're right.
Through the city town that you go to, so you have to kind of drive. But yeah, general rule with them, it might take you a little bit longer once you get out there.
It's all right. We'll figure it out. I like that one. Maybe Raleigh, July. So you just said July 21st.
Yeah, July 21st out in Raleigh. And listen, I'm getting chirped in here. I'm being called Nikki Pickleball. Hey, we're gonna do a BLPA pickleball tournament because pickleball is so big, and people are going wild for it.
I got a court. I got right here at my place. Right in my apartment complex.
There we go. We have it at Nikki Boston's apartment complex.
Hey, see, obviously, I've seen. I used to work for a company, and they had their office above a basketball court and a hockey rink, but then outside there were tennis courts. And pickleball took over the basketball courts inside and the outdoor stuff. And I hadn't talked about pickleball since I was like in 8th grade because we played it in gym class.
Really?
Yeah. Listen, and I'm not trying to brag here, but I was fucking incredible at pickleball. And listen, when the pickleball started getting big, this is why it got brought up to me because I had a gym partner. They matched us with a girl, right? And her name was Carissa Carlisle. And she messaged me just the other day and said, "Hey, remember pickleball? Can you believe this?" But what happened was we had a tournament in our high school, or our junior high, and we did it, and you had to play through. And I just said, "Listen, you stand in the back and you just serve when you need to serve and let me take care of the rest." And I did take care of the rest. And we took first place in the 7th, 8th, 9th grade pickleball. And so now Peck's over here calling me Nickel Pickleball, and Big Dad's chirping me too. I hope, I hope Big Dad, Kyle Thornton, heard that he's got to come to Raleigh because Nikki Boston's coming to Raleigh and he's going to put a stick in your chiclets, Big Dad.
I gotta do it for Ficus Kev.
You have to.
I love you chirping and I love you on there, bud, but you gave Ficus Kev a lot of shit since I've been on, Kyle, bud. So I think you're going to have to get the Boston special when I get up there to Raleigh.
Basically, he made Ficus Kev leave. I mean, that's probably not the truth, but that's the story that I'm going to go with. Because
there's a couple tricks like breaking your feet, over your laces. I'm going to take my stick and slide it right up the back of your stick, break your index finger. We're going to have some fun, Cody.
That sounds fun. It sounds like fun what's happening to anyone but me. It's almost like the drama. Like, I just want to see the drama that's not happening to me. And a quick shout out to all the people here that don't like us, but are listening to us anyway, so they can post on their timelines about us.
Life's too short. Why not?
Listen to us anyway, and then shit talk us on Facebook. That's cool because
someone shit talked us on Facebook. Yeah,
listen,
listen. All we need is an address. I can have a couple of guys real quick. Yeah.
Hey, listen. I like the downloads. The sponsors like the downloads, and so it doesn't matter if you like us. If you only listen to us, so you can share, at your 4:00 breakfast with all your old friends on Facebook and let them know that how much you hate us. Well, that don't bother me. That don't bother us at all. That's just more downloads, more eyes on it. So thank you very much. So I'm trying to say, and so basically, what's going to happen? So okay, Jess, they're calling me Nikki Pickleball now, but they're also calling you Barbara Breasts.
Hell yeah.
My girl, Jack.
Hey, that is Pef Jack right over there.
It is. Did you ever get my player card from Boston?
Did I?
Yeah. Did you ever post those? Do you remember my player card?
I'm still I got so much shit going, and I'm starting to outsource all this stuff because, like, right now I'm in the middle of working through like schedules for team tournament. Schedules are way more like time consuming than just deck schedules, right? And here's the issue with team schedules. And I wanted to get into this anyway because I like to kind of give like a behind the scenes of what goes on because most people don't usually get to see it. But when we do our schedules, like we have schedule schedule priority, right? So basically we let people pick their schedules based on when they're paid in full. Okay. But I can't do the schedules until all the teams have paid paid in full at some point, right? Because so many times in my past endeavors, teams would not like their schedule and then just bail on tournaments. And it's like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, this is just the way it is, right? Or they go to the end, they say, oh yeah, we're in. Then all of a sudden they're out, and I've got this hole in the thing. So I'm basically, we're at a point where not this weekend, but next weekend is Philly Bash. I like to have 3 or 4 weeks, to have people have the schedules. But whenever we have 4 teams that haven't paid, then you're just like, okay, what do you do? And so I'm basically telling the teams, like, this is on you guys. Like, if you guys want your schedule, everyone needs to get paid and get their player ratings in as well. And so right now I'm in the middle of Philadelphia, Columbus, and DC, all those schedules hitting at once. So I'm just basically, that's why I keep wearing my hat, because my hair keeps falling out because I'm having to deal with all that stuff. And so, basically all I want to say is if you want your schedules, just pay your fucking bills. Pay your bills and rate your players. Right? I think that's not too much to ask, right?
No, not at all. Especially if you're putting on all that work, forget about it. You gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta pay the bill if you want to play.
Yeah, pay your bills. And guess what? When you pay your bills, you're going to come out and you're going to play hockey, which cool, whatever. But you're going to get the BLPA barbecue bash right out there, right? Yeah, you should always pay your rent. You should always pay your rent. It's never good to get evicted. Never
but then don't put a team in.
I know.
If it's between your kids, and then you can't put a team in. I know it sucks, but you got to man up and have a set of balls, right?
Yeah, and Kyle's just saying, if you can't pay your rent and people's coming after you to evict you, you shouldn't be doing other shit. Going to travel tournaments and that kind of stuff. He probably has a story about that. I'm not privy to it, but at the end of the day,
a new credit card and put all of your debts and your back fees on
there
that.
You go, Jess. That's my girl.
I'm not trying to be financially irresponsible, but if there's one thing that you should be financially irresponsible for, it's for BLPA hockey. Not only the events, but the merch. I mean, look at this fire ass merch right here.
Yeah.
Brand new shirt. This is the new Bear League.
We haven't gotten any merch yet.
We just got it in.
Boston.
She got it in Boston. Yeah, if you would have been in Boston, there would have been new merch. And hey, listen, I'm gonna do this because I know Big Dad wants everyone to do it because Big Dad's in charge of our merch. Oh, I covered up Barbara Breast there. That's okay. We'll take it down soon. But nonetheless. But nonetheless,
here, wait, let me just hover above the QR code, and then as people go to take my picture,
if you click right there, right, they get up even bigger. So keep clicking that barcode.
Yeah, the eyes. Just let the eyes lead yourself from the top down to that bottom.
I gotta fix my camera.
Hey, you know what? You know what actually worked, Jess? And listen, no disrespect, man. This is with all due respect. I got to say that. But if instead of putting that T-shirt there, right, and we just put OnlyFans, and then you did that, and we had that, we'd have so many clicks. We'd have so many fucking clicks. It'd be fucking
the BLPA OnlyFans.
Well, we do.
It's
OnlyFans.com/WBLPA. So go check out our merch. It's beerleagueplayers.com. And again, if you think this show's worth $1, Nick and Jess want to get paid some money. Give them $1, right? That's why they're here. They're here to make big dollars. We might have to go to the OnlyFans. We might have to go to the OnlyFans. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I also have to point out, we were in Ann Arbor as well. One tournament that didn't get talked about much. I tend to do this thing. I guess maybe I'm a narcissist. I don't know. But usually I don't talk about the tournaments I don't go to because I'm not there. So I don't have that experience. But we were in Ann Arbor, and I want to give a shout out to Jeff Peck or Pefjack, whichever one, and Big Dad, because they went out there and ran the shit out of that tournament without Nikki Kamish there. They were also supposed to have a third, and the third bailed on us on Monday. His name is Trash Can Dan. Some of you guys know him. So what they're basically saying is that, hey, we probably have those player cards out quicker if Dan wouldn't have fucked us. I mean, he went to New York City. He probably went to the Met Museum. Maybe he went to a Rangers game. I don't know. But I know he didn't go to Ann Arbor. So other than that, I just want to make sure if you're cold out there, like Jake Coleman, if you're cold and you need a hoodie, beerleagueplayers.com.
Yes.
Hey, let's talk about I want to talk about the military decks because I told these guys if they got a certain amount of people in here, I would reveal the last 2 jerseys. We haven't done the jersey. I usually get art, right? I like to have this art fully rendered files, and I haven't got the last 2, but I said I would show the flat art that I don't really like to show, but I would show it for them, but they had to get 25 people in here at one time. And they're slacking on it. So if you share it, if the military boys share it and they chat with us here in the thing, then I'm going to show them. Then they're fucking incredible. Right. I'll show you.
Go military guys and gals.
Here's the first two. I'll show you the first two that they have seen. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the graphics here. Okay. So here's the first one right here. Oh, let me remove this overlay here. Right there. Tight. Yeah. And listen, awesome. I know someone asked, someone asked, spend a couple minutes explaining the Mildex theme and the history behind the selections. So basically what we do is this time we teamed up with the Minnesota Warriors and we put on a military dex, and it's a discounted rate. We only accept people that have served in the military, or if they're active or if they're retired or whatnot. And we bring them in, we show them a good time, and those guys are fucking black. Like, when you go to a regular Dex party, I mean, those things are pretty fucking crazy, right? But you do the military ones, and they're just on a whole nother fucking level. Because here's the deal: those guys just don't give a fuck. They're just there to fucking play hockey and see how much they can drink and how much fun, right? Yeah. And so that which is what we do too. But these guys they're on another
level. Yeah.
And so basically what we do is when you go do it, it's all military guys. You always want to do a cool theme. And I know camo's played out, so you can see the camo accents and that kind of stuff. But when I look at a theme for it, nowadays you got to try to find themes that don't offend people. And so what I did is I said, you know when the best time of the military is, and listen, military is great all the time. Love all the military guys. But the golden age of the military was like World War II. When there were some real true fucking badasses out there. They're just badass motherfuckers.
For sure. Right. There definitely were.
And
Vietnam as well too. Well,
Vietnam too. But back in World War II, they didn't give a shit about offending you. You couldn't offend them. You just couldn't. No. Right? No. So they had all these badass logos that they used for their battalions and squadrons. So I was like, you know what? I know that maybe we might offend someone, but you can't really offend someone because they weren't offended by this shit back in. So I just go out and find these really cool fucking patches. And this is one of them. And this was like the 397th Fighter Squadron in the U.S. Air Force. And so it was activated in June 1943. And then it went to the European Theater of Operations, where it served in combat until the spring of 1945, earning a distinguished unit citation. And so they were just badass motherfuckers, basically, these guys right here. And so we kind of do that. So that's the first one. And then the second one here, another really cool one here is these guys. Just the fuck. I wish I could blow these up, but it won't let me blow them up. But just I
like that one.
Yeah, just tight. Just the cat fucking the Hellcats is basically what they're called. Okay. And they're the VF-19, and they basically just went out and ran shit is what they did. And they were just like, listen, we're badass Hellcats. We're fucking coming for you. And so we wanted to honor those guys with this. And this one doesn't have camo, but we have since went in and added some camo, accents to it. But I have the other two, and I will show them. And I like the other two. The other two are really badass. But we got to get the 25 people in there. So when Zach gets his crew rolling up in here, then that's when we're going to get going. So before we release those, let's talk a little bit about, Jess had some questions. I know your man is trying to, he's learning from Nikki Boston. He's coming up, stepped up, had his first old fisticuffies in early game. Let's hear about that.
So he went on if I understand right, because I was watching at home from Live Barn because I was not about to bring my ass.
Do you really watch Jake's games on Live Barn?
So it was our beer league game, so that's why I watched it. But yes, yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know that people actually did that. And I commend you for doing it.
Yeah, like the frames per second, or the frames per second, right, are not great. So no matter like who you watch on Live Barn, it's gonna look like trash. But yeah, I was watching it because I was supposed to be there. I just took the game off. Okay. And he goes and he gets a breakaway. He kind of like hits a rut or whatever, and kind of catches an edge or looks like this, and he runs into their goalie, and their goalie goes down injured. Now, mind you, like this is a goalie that's actually subbed for us. We know him very well. Jake is, a first responder, and their goalie is a firefighter. And so like we know him, they've got good camaraderie. And so the goalie went down, and Jake like stayed there with him and was like calling the refs, like blow the whistle. He's hurt, and Jake stayed there with him until like the guy was able to get up and start moving again. So I guess one of their players comes up behind him and is like, and it hits him on the back with a stick, gives him some taps, and he goes, well, how about you go back to your bench there, bud? And Jake was just like whatever, shrugs it off. So on his next shift, he's on the ice, and I guess this guy was a defenseman. They go behind the board or behind the net, kind of battle into it, and the guy takes his elbow and shoves it up into his cage, or no. Yeah. If I'm getting the story right, I'm trying to remember. And Jake's like, oh, like whatever. He's roughing me up, and so he goes in front of the net. Jake skates in front of the net, and the guy follows him. The guy proceeds to take the butt end of his stick, jam it into Jake's ribs, and he's got like serious bruising from in there. And the guy's like, well, what do you need? He's like pestering him, kind of like hitting him with a stick, and the guys are like, well, what are you going to do about it? And Jake just like turns and looks at him, and he grabs him by the face cage, kind of knocks him and throws him to the ground, and is like basically like, back off, bud. So of course the refs blow the whistle. Now, mind you, there's 2 refs that's out there. They're actively engaged by the net, and neither of the refs call it. They basically just let this guy sit and pester and harass Jake and try to hurt him until Jake stands up for himself and is like, sorry, bud. Like, so mind you, Jake has also tried to get in a fight before, but he was so new to hockey that he couldn't stand on his skates. So he like lost because all the guy had to do was kind of tap him. So I was very proud of him that he was able to stay up on his skates. But yeah, he knocked him to the ground, and the guy said something else and he gave him a shove. And Jake is probably like, I don't know if he's online right now, but he'd probably like just shake his head listening to me tell this terrible story for him. But basically it's like, the refs need to call. What my question is at what point do you shoot a note to the refs that are like, hey, I know that you're out here for, I see our screens moving around. You're out here to try to protect the players, right? Like in addition to, calling the game, this is a game management. You let this one piece go, you let this guy be a dick basically, and then there's going to be a fight that happens. Why don't you just call it to begin with? And also, like, at what point do you like let the refs know, like, hey, by the way, you guys missed something. So I straight up did, and I was like, I don't mind. I know the ref. I showed him an email and was like, hey, by the way, if you go back and look at Live Barn, you can see that this guy is trying to hurt Jake. And so that's why Jake stood up for himself. I'm like, yeah, you're going to have to give Jake the call because you shouldn't be fighting in beer league, but also you might want to try to pay attention a little more to like what's going on around you. So like, how often does that happen? Like, what do you think about that? Like, was I a total bitch for like shooting?
No, it happens. Happens a lot. It happens a lot, Jess. But what Jake should have done is that after the first time it happened, he should have gone up to the ref and just basically told him, if this guy touches me again, I'm gonna fuck him up.
Yeah.
And because what happens is when you do that, it's one thing if this guy's doing that and that guy's doing that, right? And I understand why, because Jake doesn't want to bring it to this level, right? But when that happens, a ref is just like, oh, whatever. The guy's just bitching and complaining, right? But if Jake goes up and says, listen, if this guy doesn't stop touching me, I'm going to fuck him up and we're going to have a fight, he's going to make sure that he's watching him. So, I'm just telling you from a hockey standpoint, I mean, I've gone up to refs, be like, if that fucking number 38 touches me again, I'm going to break his fucking head. And then that ref will watch, and then they'll watch, and then they'll watch.
You bring that up, and I've actually done that before, because there's just always some guys who just don't think that like I should be playing in men's league. And granted, I am not a good player. Like, I'm not out there like wheeling around people. I wheel like my bag. So it's not like I'm a huge threat, but guys seem to just kind of want to be a dick towards the women that are out there. And I've gone to the ref and been like, he's being rough. If you don't like keep your eye on him, otherwise I'm going to hit him in the balls the next time he comes in and runs into me, and I have no shame with that.
Yeah, we're getting a little feedback about. Well, I mean, Jeff's just making more tit jokes.
Yeah. Thanks, Jeff.
Tara Titsington, I guess, is that
Tara Titsington?
Maybe Tara Titsbury would be even better, I think. But Carlos telling beer league fights are so cringe, and
it was cringe.
When we talk about fighting being in hockey, I don't think people are saying beer league hockey needs fighting. But at the end of the day, I don't know what level Jake's playing, but I do know there's a lot of beer league guys that play in high levels that have told me, like, doesn't matter if you're playing pro, if you're playing semi-pro, you're playing, rec. If you're in a level that people have fought before, then it needs to be policed in some way. And a lot of times the refs can't do that, right? Because at the end of the day, listen, I love you, refs, and what I'm going to say is going to hurt your heart right here, but I'm not trying to hurt your heart. Again, I'm saying this with all due respect. Some refs don't really fucking care about their league games.
It's really obvious.
It's just the way. It's just the way of it, and it's cool. And so, those high level players, like, they have to police themselves. And as a matter of fact, last year at the Columbus Bash, there were two teams that were playing. They were in the ringer division. They had obviously played hockey their whole lives. And the guy, like, I'm standing over there and just taking photos, shooting the shit on the bench. And the guy said, "Hey, if these guys do what they did last time we played them, we're going to fight them. Are you going to kick us out of here?" I said, "Hey, listen, this is the ringer division. I never played at the level you guys played at, so I can't tell you what to do. I would like there to not be fighting because I don't want anyone to get hurt, but you guys take care of your business. This is your last game of the tournament you're not going to the championship game. So what's it really going to matter?" And so they were like, "All right, let's fucking go." And then they did fight, and it was good little tilty, and both guys shook hands. And
there's got to be, though, too, Nikki, like, especially, like, and I'm glad, like you just said, like, you have divisions like the ringer division or whatever, beginner division, which is good. That's a good thing to do, because I played in, like, beer league, tournaments or, things like that where there hasn't been that. And it always ends up being, you would normally think, well, it's going to be that one guy, that's played before. He's going to run around like an asshole and stick guys and stuff like that. But what ends up usually happening is that the guy that's never played before, or he's played, every once in a while, he's the one that's starting all the shit with the guy that has played before.
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, that's why a lot of, not to, again, to sound like a cocky asshole here, but, it's a lot of the reason why I stopped playing beer league so much. And because it got to the point where, especially as I got older, where it was like, again, like, I get it. I get it, but why? Like, it doesn't serve me a purpose. I'm not going to get any thrill by me going out there fighting a guy that's never fought before, that's never played before, that, just started 2 years ago. I'm not going to enjoy pumping that guy, other than the fact that if he's running his mouth, that's going to make me, make him stop.
Yeah.
And, like, for instance, like what Jess is saying, like, Jess, if, me and you are on the same team and I see someone doing that, I'm going to kick the shit out of that guy to you because you're my teammate and because I love you. But I'm just saying, because you're my teammate, I'm going to step in. So there's got to be that known factor of guys that are just beginning, that are starting to play beer league and stuff like that. That's not hockey. They need to understand that. And that's where I think a lot of people have problems.
Well, it's funny because when I started playing hockey, that was, obviously my wife's Canadian. She grew up, a lot of her family played hockey. And that's what the one thing she told me is like, "Hey, you're going to go out here in Oklahoma and all these yahoos think that hockey is about fighting because they've never played any real hockey. You don't need to fight." And she told me straight up, "You can't even stand up on the ice. So you don't need to worry about it." And so I just, and too, like when Nikki said, I wouldn't have any fun pumping that guy. Yeah, I would love to punch people in the face that piss me off. That would feel really fucking good. But on the flip side, as much as I would enjoy punching them, I would not enjoy being punched in the face. So it's kind of it's a catch-22 for me. It's like, sure, it would feel good to punch this guy right in the face, but then if he gets me one time, I'm not gonna like it. So I just kind of stayed out.
Next time, tell Jake to take his 3 fingers, right, his thumb and his 2 fingers, right, and just stick him in the kid's cage and twist his neck. All right, just twist his head like that.
Okay.
And the guy is going to automatically have to go down to his knees. You just stick it. You just stick your fingers right there in his cage and twist, and the guy's going to automatically have to drop, and you don't have to fight him. You don't have to nothing. So, I mean, that's one way to do it. Another way is just to, is to
I may or may not be listening. Taking notes.
And really, the other way too is take your stick and turn it around and just really quick, just snap it off the, the toe of the blade on your stick. Just snap it really quick off the top of the guy's skates where his laces are. There's no padding there, so he'll drop, and then you don't got to deal with them no more.
Here we go. These are beer league tips. How to avoid fights, but still injure people.
Just getting them. So it's funny how we've been talking about the enforcers and how the enforcer era has left the NHL, but it's like you actually still kind of need it in beer league if the refs like don't give two shits and they're not going to police it themselves. It's like there is still that element of people taking cheap shots that at some point it's like you are going to stand up for yourself. So but at least in beer league, the refs kind of are just like, okay, stop fighting, guys.
All right, and listen, I also want to go on record and say this because those haters that just listen to find things wrong with us so they can post on their Facebook walls, they're going to post that Nick said refs are pieces of shit and don't watch games. That's not what we're saying here. We're saying that,
that's not what you said at all.
Yeah, sometimes refs just they don't care, and albeit like refs don't get paid enough to get in the middle of two guys being idiots and throwing fists. So in the beer league, yeah. So so I just want to go on record and say, you know, when you say, oh, Nick hates referees, obviously this is what he said in the podcast, I'm gonna post it on my Facebook wall. That's not what we're saying here. We're not saying that this is the cause of refs, but we're saying that sometimes when games get out of hand and the refs don't have the ability to say, fuck you, fucking leave. Then things.
What we're saying, Nikki, what we're saying is that those jerk offs that put those nasty quotes and stuff like that are usually the fucking assholes that go on the ice and start shit for no fucking reason. And that's what pisses me off. So why don't you shut your fucking mouth, stop being a keyboard warrior, and stop fucking running your mouth, because that's what pissing me off. You're that fucking
BLPA Big Show.
Let's go preach it. Here we go.
You're the fucking guy, that guy who writes that show, Nikki say he hates refs. No. Because you're that fucking guy that I got to worry about when I want to go play beer league, have a couple of beers, hang out with the boys and girls, and just have some fun. I got to worry about you that being a little piece of shit on the ice until I stick you in the fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey,
and the number one thing that everyone's yelling when all this is going on is, we all have to work tomorrow.
All have to work tomorrow.
True.
Yep. Hey, if people want me to release the military decks, we only have 12. We need 25. But if you start commenting here, you guys can probably persuade me. So if Zach Daniels in here, guy for the Patriots, he's basically he's not I don't know if he's the head top of the chain, but he runs things in SoCal for the Patriots. He's a great dude. He's going to be at the Mill Decks. He wants to see him. So Zach, if you're in here,
having a dance party with, like I joined his dance party, right?
Yeah.
In the locker room. Okay, yeah. Thinking of the same guy. Yeah.
So in non-beer league hockey, we had the college, the Frozen Four. And we're going into the NHL playoffs. So shout out to Quinnipiac for first national title in history, right, Nikki?
Yeah, first national championship. They actually just went Division I in 1995. They started with the old MAC. It was the old MAC conference. It was like them, Fairfield, bunch of other teams, and then that fell apart with the MAC, and they went to the ECAC. ECAC is.
How are all these teams like Div 1 that you never even heard of? But it's just in hockey, right? Like Quinnipiac doesn't have like a D1 football or basketball team, do they?
Yeah. It depends on the program. Like for instance, like where
Colgate and Merrimack doesn't have like a NCAA.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Football?
Yeah, football, basketball. Their basketball team.
What?
Their basketball team. Yeah, their basketball team just won the conference. They would have made the tournament. But the reason they didn't make the tournament is that's their first year as Division I, so they have to sit. They have to sit out this year. Hockey's been their only Division I program for a long time because when they were Division II, they won a bunch of national championships. So they went up to Division I hockey wise, but now they're baseball, basketball, football, every single sport there went Division I about two years ago, I believe.
Interesting.
So now they're all D1.
You know what I wonder?
Pretty awesome.
Okay. Like these teams, like these D1 teams, like obviously, I'm coming from a college football perspective because I'm a big college football guy. University of Oklahoma Sooners, Boomer Sooner.
Yeah, Boomer Sooner.
They, NIL is a big deal right now, especially in college football. Like obviously, when your team loses a recruit, they're like, oh, they get money bag, got them. I wonder how prevalent like NIL is in like NCAA D1 college hockey. Because if it's not prevalent, we should just.
You mean by the NIL and stuff like that?
Are these Div 1 guys getting paid any money? Because maybe we should just do some NIL deals then.
No, they need to, and it's surprising. But here's where the thing is too, is that your hockey players, because of major junior, right? There's also a lot of the best players don't play college hockey.
But true, but if you look at like, but even like. Obviously, there was a freshman that won the Hobie Baker this year, right? a true freshman.
Yeah, Fantilli. Yeah.
But like when you look at like these guys,
he's going number 2 overall. I mean, this upcoming year, it goes Connor Bedard and then him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like if what's the NIL deals? Like, I mean, what can we pay a college person like to wear BLPA merch?
Hockey's just not enough. Oh, we could.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just, yeah. I mean, we could. I mean, obviously, it'd have to. The problem is hockey. You know, like where it's a football program, right? You go to Michigan, Michigan football game. I'm just using them. I know it's a far example. They've got 150, 175,000 people in the stands.
Oh yeah.
The national championship the other day only had 20,000 people there. And that's the national championship game. My point is, as much as I love this game, is that it's just not big enough nationally, right? And it's starting to get there. Like we've talked about. I mean, Arizona's, your New Mexico's, your Southern California. I mean, they're producing very, 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 very good hockey players now. I mean, fantastic hockey players that are big time players. But the other problem with that is though too, Nikki, is that a lot of those guys that we're seeing that go number 1, that go number 2, that go in the top 5, they're playing major junior for the most part.
Yeah.
So the marketability isn't there. You get what I'm saying? It's hard to market a kid that's going to be, that's going to go in the 5th round, even though he's one of the top college hockey players in the country. He just went in the 5th round last year. Right. And there are a couple players like that. Now, obviously, there's exceptions like Logan Cooley, who played for Minnesota, who went number 3 last year. Fantilli won the Hobie Baker. He's expected to go number 2 this year. So there are that exceptions of that 1 or 2 players, but in bulk, there's not enough.
Wait, but hold on. Wait, this guy's already 18. He's in college, but so he didn't go, like he just didn't enter the draft in his 18-year-old year, or
no, he's getting drafted this summer. His draft year is this summer.
So he just aged. He was too young when they did the draft last year. Eh?
Yeah. Just too young. Yeah, gotcha. It's his draft year. Yeah, last year wasn't his draft year. But Logan Cooley, the kid that played for Minnesota, their number 92, he went number 3 last year overall. So he played the national development program as well. I mean, the kid's a stud. And then you got the other really cool player that was out there as well too with Michigan was the Hughes kid, another Hughes. He just signed to play with his brother in New Jersey. He left after his sophomore year.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and listen, someone just said he's came here to chew gum and see these jerseys, and he's all out of gum. So let's see him. Okay, let me just finish with this thought. One thing
you're supposed to get more. Whoa! You're supposed to get more people in here before we show these jerseys.
Yeah, I'm a fucking pushover.
Stick me in guns here. Get some more motherfuckers to come in here and listen to us.
This is Nikki, man of the people. There's Nikki, fuck the people. And so, hey, here's one thing that I'm not a fan of in college. I don't like that you can get drafted and then go play 4 years in the NCAA and then go free agent. Listen, I like it as a guy that used to play college sports. I like that. I like that you have the option. But for a fan of a team like, let's say, the Flames, like look at Adam Fox for the Rangers, fucking stud, right? He basically bullied his way. Like the Flames drafted him. They helped develop him. They brought him to camps. They did all that stuff. And at the end of the day, he was like, fuck it. I'll just stay in school for 4 years. Johnny Gaudreau almost did it to him. Right. Coronado from BC, was he at BC, BU, Harvard? I don't know.
BC, I believe it was BC.
Yeah. So he just signed with the Flames, but the big worry was like, he's a Boston guy. He wants to, he'll go back to school and just, I don't like that part of
it's also too crazy now. But the other thing is the transfer portals. I mean, that's friggin' nuts,
sure.
Right,
I mean, you're talking about college football.
That's the craziest thing, because when I played college hockey, if you transferred from a D1 to a D1 school, you have to sit out a year. You lose a year of eligibility. The whole thing. Now, I mean, there was a kid that played for Merrimack who lost to Quinnipiac in the first round. Merrimack was his third college, his third college hockey team. And I think that's a little crazy. Or I think that shows no loyalty.
Yeah, I agree there.
And that's something that I think hockey players pride themselves on.
I can see that.
But they've got to compete with basketball, football, baseball. They've got to compete with them, and they just can't. Unfortunately, the sport that I love, the sport that I love here is still not big enough in this country to compete with those other major brands. So when it comes to NIL deals and things like that, unfortunately, the marketability is just not there yet nationwide. It's very hard to market a hockey player unless it's like a Connor Bedard, but they're going to play major junior. And because college hockey too is the other thing, they only play 27 games, right? Sure. Yeah. Whereas major junior's playing 80, so you can market that kid a lot longer.
Yeah, and listen, I get it. I'm just saying it would be cool if we got like these badass college players to wear BLPA stuff, chug some.
They will, beers. But see, we could do that. We could set that up. I can set that up tomorrow.
Yeah, I want to get them in BLPA stuff doing beer chugs against each other. That's what I want to see. I want them to know. Like,
I don't know if we can market that, but I'm just saying
they got to be 21, right?
Yeah, they got to be 21.
The US.
18 in Canada, 19 in some provinces. But what I'm saying is, I want to let them know, like, hey boys, you're really good hockey players, and maybe you'll go pro. But at the end of the day, guess where you're gonna end up? You're gonna end up right here, the BLPA, with all the buttes out here. Just
we all do.
Yeah, slamming beers or Gatos, whatever. And playing a little puck. So that's what I'm going for. So, okay, listen, I have to do it because we're getting ready to have to get out of here. I'm going to show one of the jerseys. I'm going to show one of the two. Yeah. I'm not going to do both. I'm going to wet them. I'm going to wet their flavor here. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do the Marines. Okay. So we've done the Air Force. We've done we've done Air Force. We've done Army, Marines, and we've done the Navy. And so we're going to do the Marines, which is going to leave the Army. So if the Army boys want to see it, they got about 10 minutes to get in here and get 25 to see the other one. So here's the other one. So I'll just give you what these guys. This is the Marine Attack Squadron 133. It's a veteran A-Force Skyhawk fighter squadron in the U.S. Marine Corps. Nice. The squadron saw combat during the World War II campaigns at, I can't even pronounce it, Bujaneville in the Philippines. And following the war, they became part of the Marine Forces Reserve. And they were known as the Dragons. That was part of the military aircraft group, which is weird that they were called the Dragons because the squadron is this right here. This is one of my favorite ones from the weekend. Just badass. Like,
it's badass.
Like, look at this big ass fucking bulldog with a fucking I don't even know what kind of gun, with a big ass fucking gun and a big ass fucking bomb. And people are going to be wearing that, and they're going to be taking big ass clappers and scoring big ass goals. Maybe the goalie makes big ass saves. I don't know, but this is a big ass team. And to be frank, I don't usually do this, but if there's any jersey that is out there that I want this weekend, it's this one. And for one reason, other than the big ass bulldog with the big ass bomb and the big ass gun, is you don't see many brown jerseys that we put out. And so I want a nice little brown jersey to rock here. And I think this thing is fucking bad as fuck right here.
No, they did Popcorn Sutton at Raleigh. So that was brown.
Yeah, I had that one.
Yeah, you did.
And this is how you do this is how you do jerseys right here. And this is a good looking jersey. This is good. This is just some bullshit just thrown together. Like Tim over at Envious really takes his fucking time. And this is no free promos.
Chris, sorry, not to jump in, but Chris Lewis said it right. Don't forget that you should save that for Hershey.
Oh, hey, listen, we're gonna have brown jerseys in Hershey for sure. But here, like, people keep asking me, they always ask me, like, what are you gonna do for this theme? And the long and the short of themes is if it's over like 3 months out, I probably haven't even thought of a theme. Like, me and Tim haven't put our heads together, or me and the boys haven't sat down and said, hey, this is what we should have to do. But what I think I want to do for Hershey is I want to do candy, but no Hershey candy. Just all the other fucking brands of candy. Willy Wonka bar. You know, just really show them, right? Just really troll them. And listen, out of fun, out of love and respect and character and integrity and all that good shit. But so listen, Omaha. Okay, maybe I just haven't seen a bunch of stuff. So someone just said, does this rink have live barn? I want to make a play either so stupid or amazing that I end up on Chuck Freeberg's Facebook account. Chuck is part of the admin staff of the Minnesota Warriors. And I've never seen his live barn, but people post a lot of fucking live barn shit in the group, and it's usually pretty cringe. And here's what this is another Nikki original idea right here. Okay. And I'm sure someone will take it before I have time to get to it. But in my mind, I think this would be incredible. A lot of people play fantasy sports, right? And I've tried this a little bit. fantasy decks, right? I've tried it for a couple tournaments, but it's a lot of stuff where I basically get the draft rounds out early enough. People pick a player from each round and then they play and see. But the key is that we would also live stream every game and then have a little chat so people could chat and they could be like, oh, fuck, I drafted fucking Nick and he just missed 2 fucking empty net goals. And just really fucking
I like that.
I think that would really enhance the community.
It.
If there's any people that know how to make this stuff happen easy, because I could probably figure it out, but I'm swamped. I got so much stuff. I have all these ideas that I want to do. Someone will probably steal it, but we can point back and say, okay, listen, on this show, on this day, we had this idea and we talked about it. We're trendsetters here at the BLPA. We start trends and people just copy them, follow them. And so I think that's the next thing I want to do right after BLPA pay-per-view slap fights. So if
wow.
Yeah, no,
hey, speaking of that, not to get off topic, and I know we're not longer, but if anyone, have you ever watched Slap Mountain?
No, but it sounds like
my God. Yes, it's slap fight, Nikki. You have to watch this. It is, I can't even put into words. I can't. You've got to watch.
YouTube thing is like Hulu, or is
have you never seen slap fights?
Yes, of course.
No, Jess.
Of course.
Jess is acting like this is like a new thing. Like Jeff, have you never seen slap fights before?
What do you
like? Where they hold? It's like arm wrestling.
They stand there and they slap each other as hard as they can, one at a time.
Okay, that's what I want to do.
But I'm saying, like, where's the Slap Mountain? Like,
it's on Hulu. It's got to be online. You could probably YouTube it as well. Okay. I have it on my Roku on live TV. They have it on TV every once in a while.
Okay.
It is.
I don't know.
I want you guys to watch Slap Mountain and then text me.
Okay. Hey, here's the deal.
It is the most amazing thing on TV.
Like, instead of Jake getting in a fight on the ice, maybe he just says, "Hey, bitch, I challenge you to a BLPA slap fight," and then we do a pay-per-view. And it's everyone you have problems with, and you just slap fight and you solve your problems. But
there's no way you could do a guy slapping a girl.
No. Listen, let's not get crazy. But it is 2023. I don't want to be canceled. Maybe that's the thing. I don't know.
For everyone, right?
I don't. Yeah, everyone's equal to do whatever the fuck they want. I don't care. Live and let live. If it makes you happy and it doesn't make someone else unhappy, if you're not violating someone else and it makes you happy, do it. That's what I say. But maybe we also switch it up and it's not like front hand slap. Maybe it's a BLPA bitch slap fights and they have to do it from the backhand. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I've seen people do it with tortillas, right?
Hey, yeah, let's say
that's I could deal with. I just couldn't slap a girl.
No, we're not slapping girls. We're not slapping girls. I'm saying, no, I said I'm not. When I say
that for the OnlyFans.
When I say bitch slap fights, I'm saying backhand, even the dude. So like if it's Jake and Pef Jack, and they're having a bitch fight slap, but they have to just backhand.
Oh, Chris Lewis just brought up a good idea. He said a foam BLPA finger.
Yeah,
you got to use one, and we use those in the slap fights. Yeah. That would be funny.
Yeah, but so basically, I think we're gonna make this happen. So, but we got to figure. It's got to be a pay-per-view, so people have to pay $5. Whatever. I mean, $5, and we get like 3 hours of people that have beer league beef slapping it out. Just slap it out. You don't have to throw fists. We're just slapping it out, boys. You know what I'm saying? It's either that or sumo wrestling.
So Chris Lewis just said it's on YouTube, Slap Mountain.
It's on YouTube.
I'm telling you, you've got to watch Slap Mountain. The commentary is so funny. It's so rednecky. I don't even know how to explain it. It is the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen that someone put on TV. You have to watch it.
Hey, and listen, that's what we need too. When we get BLPA slap fights going or BLPA bitch slaps, whatever we're calling it, we got to have great commentary. And, like if we could get that Australian guy that commentates some videos.
Oh, he's the best.
He comes and commentates BLPA bitch slap fights. That would be incredible. Or even if it's someone that has an Australian accent, but it's a fake one, that would be incredible. And Chris is right. Redneck slap fight, best described.
Yeah.
He's talking about Slap Mountain. He's probably watching it right now. You have to watch it, guys. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna go pack, and then I'm gonna sit down, and I'm gonna take 10 minutes out of my schedule of scheduling stuff tonight to watch this Slap Mountain. And here's the problem: if it's good, Sorry, Philly, you're probably not getting your schedule till tomorrow. So, well, here's the deal, Chris.
Marty would be good too. Yeah,
Marty would be good. The other guy,
shout out to Marty.
About him. He doesn't want to be involved with us. He may or may not be one of those people that we say just watches us to drag us on Facebook. And listen, I'm tired of getting dragged on Facebook, but I'm gonna let you do it. But I do want to let you guys know cyberbullying is real. Don't cyberbully people. It's not fun. It's not fair. If you feel you've been cyberbullied, there's hotlines out there. Go do them. But when you're 60 years old and you can only talk shit behind a computer, you've probably got a bigger problem than the person next to you.
They give me a call. I'll give you a hug instead. Because if you're, it's too much crazy shit, and that's just nuts.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Nick. I'm gonna flash it. Here it is. Here's the last one. I'm not gonna say anything about it.
You come on, 1, 2, you pussy.
3, 4, 5. There it is. That's all they get. That's all they get right there. It's death from the sky or something. Red Devils. But anyway, that's about all we have for you today. But we will be on. We will start being on every week now that our schedules are kind of lining up. Really, the issue has been Jess. She keeps belling on us for Canes games.
Absolutely, 100%.
Tuesday nights, man.
And so once we get
the Carolina Hurricanes, they suck.
Once we get there, Nick's gonna have some more. Guest on. We're gonna have some more guests, and basically, I'm gonna challenge every one of these guests to a slap fight, a bitch slap fight. All right.
I wouldn't recommend that with some of these guests. I mean, like Yabo, his hand is about the size of your whole head.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna say, come fight me, but then I'm gonna have Big Dad show up in my place. So basically, it's just work. Hey, like in the fair, like when you go to the fair when you were younger, and they'd always have those fucking clowns that would fucking chirp you, and you'd throw the fucking balls at them and try to knock them in the water, and they'd fucking piss you off. That's probably the best job for Big Dad, for Kyle Thornton. He could be that clown, but for us, we'll just do it's a slap thing. Like you come up, it's a slappy booth. And
you ever seen some of those guys, brother? Like their face is so swollen.
Yeah. No, I know. I don't want to get slapped.
Like, forget about it. I couldn't do it. Someone just sitting there slapping me. As soon as someone slapped me, I just would punch them across the teeth.
Right.
That's part of the game.
I hate being slapped more than anything. I'd rather be punched.
Well, all I'm saying is that if we got a slapping booth for charity, and people donate to bitch slap Kyle Thornton, I think that has some legs.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You walk up.
Kyle's silent. He's just getting the ice ready for his face.
$10 for you can bitch slap Kyle, right? I think that's a pretty fair one. Hey, this is wild too. Like this is my iPhone, right? This is a new one. Oh, that's my little kid. But I was cleaning out some stuff and I found my first iPhone. Look at this motherfucker. Isn't that wild? How much has changed? Like it's got like the thick, like it's just wild. Like I'm just looking at it like, holy shit. Like it's so wild how small these were. And how like you're thinking like, oh, the iPhone went smaller because it had that 6.5-inch screen at one point, and now it's like, oh, the iPhone's so much smaller now. And then you pull this out and you're like, not really.
Yeah.
And so other than that, I mean, there are a lot of tournaments coming up. I don't know if you guys know about this. Vegas, a week before Christmas, they're doing it, and I'm mentioning this because Michael Fry's here, and he just sent me an email about Vegas. And Mike, I'm going to answer you. The problem is the answer is probably not going to be what you want to hear because I got back some hotel rates, and then I went online and looked at the hotels, and the hotels were cheaper just to buy them myself than to actually go through this contract. It's Vegas is a weird thing. Like you would think, oh, Vegas will want to give us a deal, so we'll get all of our players there, but they don't care because everyone's going there anyway, right? They're just like, fuck these guys. And so that's kind of the hardship we're running
Nikki, not to start it, but here in like give me like probably by the next time we're on or the week after, I'm gonna have something to help you guys travel. It's a website that is gonna really take care of all your traveling needs and all that type of stuff. Get you huge discounts on hotels, flights, all that kind of crap. So I'll help you guys with that too. Okay. So Mikey, you know what I mean? And I'll get that to you guys and everybody out there. It had to be finalized with something else, but it will really help you guys with all that.
Okay, cool. And so another thing that Mike asked about that I forgot to mention is he asked if Old Maple Leaf Gardens was still kicking around as an opportunity. It is an opportunity. The issue with that opportunity is they want to do it the same weekend as Nashville. And so I'm not sure.
You can't miss Nashville. Nashville's the bomb.
I mean, I do love Nashville, but I also need to get more Canadian tournaments going. And the thing is Old Maple Leaf Gardens is a great weekend,
awesome.
right? And so, but we just haven't had much luck with the Canadian side of things. And so, but I think Old Maple Leaf Gardens could get more Americans going, especially it's Toronto, so a lot of places are within driving distance.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one other question that I forgot to ask. It was Jason. And it says, which decks in the next year are you looking most forward to traveling and playing in? I love going to places I've never been to play. And so obviously Czech Republic is that one. I'm working on Tokyo, Japan right now. I've been there to play, but I want to go back so bad. Korea's on that list too. There's a couple other places in my mind that I really want to go to that aren't really, usually I'm like, you know what? I think people would really like to go play here, so I should look into it. There's a couple where I'm like, I really fucking want to go there and play, and so I should look into it. And one of them is Rome. I think Rome would be a really fucking cool one to go because I'm such an ancient Rome like history nerd, and so I think that would be really cool. So other than that, I don't got much more else to say other than God, there's a lot of fucking tournaments coming up, and I hope you guys fucking come playing them. You can follow me at Nicker Jones on Twitter, the Nicker Jones on Instagram. Jess, you can find her on Twitter at Wheels Like My Bag. That's Wheels Like My Bag. And then Coach Nick, Coach _Nick 44. That's on Instagram, right, Nick?
Yeah, that's Instagram for sure. I got to get my other stuff set up, but yeah, that's Instagram.
So go follow us. Follow the BLPA, beerleagueplayers.com for all our merch. I mean, we literally, I put out like 5, 6, 7 new things in the last 3 days that have just been absolutely, people are loving it. And we have so much more stuff coming as well. I'm going to flood it. The BLPA is going to be everywhere. It's basically it's the official merchandise of the parking lots. So if you like beer league hockey, if you like hanging with the squad, the crew out in the parking lot in the locker room, show us some support and rep some merch. You can find it at beerleagueplayers.com. Anything else you guys want to plug before we get out of here?
Jess?
No, I'm good.
Just a couple of things like I brought up before, guys. If there's any hockey players out there that are struggling and need someone to kind of talk to and stuff like that, get in contact with me. It's an honor. It can be discreet as well too. Every first and third Wednesday of the month, bunch of us old pro hockey players, fighters and stuff like that, we get together, and we're losing too many of our guys to addiction and suicide and stuff like that, and we're trying to stop it. So if anybody needs anything out there with that type of stuff, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Also too, like I said, in the next couple of weeks, I'll have some exciting news here to help you guys with your travel. That's going to be big and pretty awesome for you, to help everything and all your travel needs. The other thing is too, support the Boston Junior Bruins because we're looking to have a kick-ass season this year.
Hell yeah. So other than that, guys, appreciate you being here. We couldn't get to 25 like we told Zach we needed, but as not a hater of the people like Nikki Boston over there, man of the people, Nikki Kamish, I take care of you guys.
Hater of the people.
Guys. We'll see you guys next week.